Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Concept of computer files. A file is a collection of related records. A file is made up of records which are made up of fields which are made up of characters. A record in database management system is a complete set of information. Records are composed of fields, each of which contains one item of information. A group of records constitutes a file. For example, a personnel file might contain records that have three fields: a name field, an address field, and a phone number field. Let's understand this using files in our normal offices. For example, when you want to give documents about how many students are enrolled in a particular school, you can have a file that lists the name of the student, the address, his class, his score last year, and so on. Each of these sections we mentioned, that is name, address, and so forth, are all records. And each of the words you mentioned there, for example, saying that name is equals to Ikenna, that is a field. And that field, Ikenna, has characters listed in it. Now, what about data items? Every unit of data contained in record describing a particular attribute is called a data item, such as maybe the name, the address, and so forth, and requiring one of several bits or bytes or words to represent an entity. For example, it can be characters of numeric, alphabetic, or alphanumeric. When I want to look at file organization, it can either be serial, sequential, index sequential, direct access, or random access. Let us now find more about all of this. For serial file organization, a collection of records is involved. There's no particular sequence. It cannot be used as a master file. It is used as temporary transmission file, and these records are stored in the order received. Also, we have sequential file organization. This involves a collection of records, and they are stored in key sequences. Adding and deleting a record requires making a new file, and it can be used as master files. What about advantages of this? It has a very simple file design. It is very efficient when most of the records must be processed, maybe like a payroll, and it's also very efficient if the data has a natural order. It can also be stored on inexpensive devices like magnetic tapes. What about the disadvantages? For sequential file organization, entire files must be processed even if a single record is to be searched, and also transactions have to be sorted before processing. Also, the overall processing is very slow. Let's talk about the direct or random file organization. Records are read directly or written directly onto the file, and records are stored at known addresses. Also, the address is calculated by applying a mathematical function to the key field. A random file would have to be stored in a direct access backing storage medium, such as a magnetic disk, a CD, or a DVD. Almost all of the storage devices we have today uses direct or random file organization. An example of that is any information retrieval system, such as a train timetable system. Let's look at the advantages. Any record can be directly accessed. Speed of record processing is very fast. Up-to-date file because of online updating. Concurrent processing is possible. But there are some disadvantages. It's more complex than sequential file. It does not fully use memory locations. And also there's more insecurity and backup problems. What about indexed sequential files? Well, in this, each record of a file has a key field which uniquely identifies that record. An index consists of keys and addresses. When we talk about keys and addresses, it means that when a line of file or a line of record is registered, let's say, for example, a list of students in a classroom. You have number 1, Ikenna, number 2, Obi, number 3, Peter, number 4, Emma, number 5, Ada, and the rest of them. Now, whatever the key, that is numbers, is mentioned, the address, that is the name, should be located. For example, once I say number 5, I should have Ada on the screen. That is the relationship between a key and a record of a file. An index sequential file is a sequential file that is not sorted with an index. A full index to a file is one in which there is an entry for every record. And index sequential files are important for applications, whether that needs to be accessed in these forms of sequentially, randomly using the index, or also can also be stored on a random access device such as a magnetic disk or a CD. Advantages. It provides flexibility for users who need both types of accesses with the same file. It is faster than sequential files, but the disadvantage is that it needs extra storage space for the index.